Table of the auric colors. Black indicates hatred, malice, revenge, and similar low feelings. Gray, bright shade, indicates selfishness. Ghastly shade indicates fear and terror. Dark shade indicates melancholy. Green, bright live shade indicates diplomacy, worldly wisdom, savity, tact, politeness, and polite deceit in general. Dirty, muddy shade of green indicates low deceit, low cunning falsehood, trickery of a low order. Dark, dull shade. The dark, dull shade of green indicates jealousy, envy, and covetousness. Red is the color of the passions in general, but there is a great variety of its manifestations. For instance, red that is dull and appearing as if mixed with smoke indicates sensuality and the lower animal passions. Red appearing as bright flashes, sometimes lighting in form, indicates anger. Ooh, I knew someone who saw red and someone that liked that one time. In this case, the red usually is shown on a black background when the anger arises from hatred or malice, and on a greenish-black ground when the anger arises from jealousy and envy, etc. And without any background when the anger arises from righteous indignation and the defense of what it believes to be righteous cause. Red, crimson shade represents love and varies in shade according to the character of the passion named. For instance, a dull and heavy crimson shade indicates a gross, sensual love, while the brighter, clearer, and more pleasing shades indicate love blended with higher feelings and accompanied by higher ideas and the highest form of human love between the sexes manifest in a beautiful rose color. Brown, the reddish shade, indicates avarice and greed. Orange, the bright shade, represents pride and ambition. Yellow, in its various shades, represents intellectual power in its various forms. A beautiful, clear golden yellow indicates high intellectual attainment, logical reasoning, unprejudiced judgment, and discrimination. A dark, dull yellow shade indicates intellectual power, contenting itself with thoughts and subjects of a low, selfish order. The shade between the two just indicated denote the presence of higher or lower thought, respectively, the dark representing the lower and the light the higher. Blue, dark shade of blue, represents religious emotion, feeling, and tendencies in general. The dull shades, however, indicate religious emotion of a low order, while the clearer, brighter shades indicate religious emotions of a high order. These shades vary and range from a dull indigo to a beautiful bright violet. Light blue of a peculiar hue and shade indicates spirituality. This spiritual blue is of a peculiarly clear, transparent, and luminous appearance, which is difficult to describe in words. In the auras of some persons of a high degree of spirituality, there appears tiny, luminous, spark-like points, often twinkling and sparkling like the stars in the heavens on a clear night. In addition to the ordinary colors named above, there are several shades which cannot be named, for they correspond to colors outside of the field of human vision, such as infrared and ultraviolet. Without going deeper into this phase of the subject, it may be said that the ultraviolet auric colors denote high spiritual powers manifested in the direction of the highest and most worthy aims and ends, while the infrared auric colors denote psychic powers employed in unworthy ways and for base ends, as, for instance, that which the occultists know as black magic. There are two other auric colors which are impossible to describe in words, for there are no terms adequate for such expression. These colors are as follows: the true primary yellow, which indicates the highest spiritual illumination of the intellect, and the true pure white, are a peculiar brilliancy and transparency, which indicates the presence of the awakened spirit. A writer on the subject has said of the manifestation of the auric colors, "Even when the mind is calm, there hover in the aura the shades indicative of the predominant tendencies in the man, so that his stage of advancement and development, as well as his taste and other features of his personality, may be readily discerned. When the mind is swept by a strong passion, feeling, or emotion, the entire aura seems to be colored by the particular shade or shades representing it. For instance, a violent fit of anger causes the whole aura to show bright red flashes upon a black background, almost eclipsing the other colors. This state lasts for a longer or shorter time, according to the strength of the passion. If people could but have a glimpse of the human aura when so colored, they would become so horrified at the dreadful sight that they would never again permit themselves to fly into a rage. It resembles the flame and the smoke of the pit, which is referred to in the Orthodox churches. And in fact, the human mind, in such a condition, becomes a veritable hell for the time being. A strong wave of love sweeping over the mind will cause the aura to show crimson, the shade depending upon the character of the passion. Likewise, a burst of religious feeling will bestow upon the entire aura a blue tinge. In short, a strong emotion, feeling, or passion causes the entire aura to take on its color while the feeling lasts. You will see from what we have said that there are two aspects to the color feature of the aura. The first, depending upon the predominant thoughts habitually manifested in the mind of the person. The second, depending upon the particular feeling, emotion, or passion, if any, being manifested at that particular time. The passing color disappears when the feeling dies away, although a feeling, passion, or emotion repeatedly manifested shows itself in time upon the auric color. The habitual color shown in the aura, of course, changes gradually from time to time as the character of the person improves or changes. The habitual colors shown indicate the general character of the person. The passing colors show what feeling, emotion, or passion, if any, is dominating him at that particular time. Another writer, describing the appearance of the aura of a person, has said, "The shades and colors of the aura present an ever-changing kaleidoscopic spectacle. The trained occultist is able to read the character of any person as well as the nature of his passing thoughts and feelings by simply studying the shifting colors of his aura. To the developed occultist, the mind and character becomes as an open book, to be studied carefully and intelligently. Even the student of occultism, who has not been able to develop the clairvoyant vision to such a high degree, is soon able to develop the sense of psychic perception, whereby he is able to at least feel the vibrations of the aura, though he may not see the colors, and thus be able to develop the clairvoyant vision to such a high degree." Wait a minute. I think I lost I'm going to start over. Even the student of occultism, who has not been able to develop the clairvoyant vision to such a high degree, is soon able to develop the sense of psychic perception, whereby he is able to at least feel the vibrations of the aura, though he may not see the colors, and thus be able to interpret the mental states which have caused them. The principle, of course, is the same as the colors are, but the outward appearance of the vibrations themselves, just as the ordinary colors on the physical plane, are merely the outward manifestations of vibrations of matter. But it must not be supposed that the human aura is always perceived in the appearance of a luminous cloud of ever-changing color. When we say that such is its characteristic appearance, we mean it in the same sense that we describe the ocean as a calm, deep body of greenish waters. We know, however, that at times the ocean presents no such appearance, but instead is seen as rising in great mountainous waves, white-capped, and threatening the tiny vessels of men with its power. Or again, we may define the word flame in the sense of a steady, bright stream of burning gas, whereas we know only too well that the word also indicates the great hot tongues of fiery force that stream out of the windows of a burning building and lick to destruction all with which it comes in contact. So it is with the human aura. At times it may be seen as a beautiful, calm, luminous atmosphere, presenting the appearance of a great opal under the rays of the sun. Again, it blazes like the flames of a great furnace, shooting forth great tongues of fire in this direction and that, rising and falling in great waves of emotional excitement or passion, or perhaps whirling like a great fiery maelstrom toward its center, or swirling in swirling in an outward movement away from its center. Again, it may be seen as projecting from its depths smaller bodies or centers of mental vibration, which like sparks from a furnace, detach themselves from the parent flame and travel far away in other directions. These are the projected thought forms of which all occultists are fond of speaking, and which make plain many strange psychic occurrences. The three primary auric colors, like their physical counterparts, the auric colors are derived from three primary colors, from which all the various combinations and colors are formed. These three primary colors, together with white and black, give us the key to the entire auric spectrum. The three primary colors are as follows: red, blue, and yellow. From these three primary colors, all others are formed by combinations and blendings, or by the addition of black or white. Thus, the secondary colors are formed as follows: green, derived from a combination of yellow and blue; orange, derived from a combination of yellow and red; purple, derived from a combination of red and blue. Further combinations produce other colors. For instance, green and purple form olive, orange and purple form russet, green and orange form citron. Black is really an absence of color, while white is really a harmonious blending of all colors. I've heard that before. The blending of the primary colors in various proportions produce what are known as the hues of colors, and adding white we obtain tints, while mixing black produces shades. And I'll interject here, the Great White Brotherhood. They use white not in the sense of white Caucasian-like color. No, the white, when they say the Great White Brotherhood, is a combination of all colors, because a combination of all colors creates white. But let me tell you, if you take a bunch of colors of paint and you put them all together and you think they're going to make white, it won't. I did that one time. I thought, that can't be true. But it's true of light, not of colors like I was mixing together that day. But when all lights of all colors come together, you get white. But it's like laser light colors coming together. Okay, enough of me. Key to the auric colors. An understanding of the basic character of the three primary auric colors, and of auric black and auric white, gives the student the key to the whole range of auric coloring. For this purpose, the following table is presented. The red group. Red represents the physical nature, and its presence always indicates the existence and activity of that part of the nature of man. The blue group. Blue represents the religious or spiritual nature, and its presence always indicates the existence and activity of that part of the nature of man. The yellow group. Yellow represents the intellectual nature, and its presence always indicates the existence and activity of that part of the nature of man. White. White represents pure spirit, and its presence always indicates the presence and activity of that reality of the nature of man. Black. Black represents the negation of pure spirit and opposes it in every way, and its presence always indicates the existence and activity of this negative principle in the nature of man. The various combinations of the three primary auric colors are formed in connection with black, white, and black, as well as by the blending of the three themselves. These combinations, of course, result from the shades of mental and emotional activity manifested by the individual. But not only is the blending caused by the mixing of the colors themselves in connection with black and white, but in certain cases the body of one color is found to be streaked, striped, dotted, or clouded by other colors. At times there is perceived the mixture of two antagonistic color streams fighting against each other before blending. Again, we see the effect of one color neutralizing another. In some cases, great black clouds obscure the bright colors beneath and then darken the fierce glow of color, just as is often witnessed in the case of a physical conflagration. Again, we find great flashes of bright yellow or red flaring across the field of the aura, showing agitation or the conflict of intellect and passion. It should be noted by the student in passing that the green group of auric colors seems at first glance to be an exception to the general rule regarding the blending of the primary auric colors, and to manifest contradictions in character. For instance, it is difficult for the average student to comprehend why a blending of the spiritual blue and the intellectual yellow should yield a green indicating deceit, etc. A subtle analysis of deceit, however, gives the secret of this combination, particularly when it is noted that in certain of the less desirable of the green combinations, there is combined a slight mixture of black and of red. It is not necessary to go into details concerning this particular point. It is enough to indicate the nature of the solution of the mystery. Again, there is a certain shade of green, that which manifests in the prevailing colors of trees and plants, which, when shown in the auric coloring, indicates a love of nature. The following words from a celebrated occultist gives a valuable hint to those whose minds tend to keen analysis concerning these matters. This occultist says, "To those who are fond of analysis of this kind, I will drop the following hint, which may help them in the matter. The key is found in the fact that green lies in the center of the spectrum and is a balance between the two extremes, and is also influenced by those two extremes in a startling manner." And it ends there. Important suggestions. The Rosicrucians teachers do not content themselves with instructing their students concerning the particular colors which, when seen in the aura, indicate the presence and activity of certain mental or emotional states in the person. They also instruct the student according to the celebrated principle of action and reaction, which forms an important feature of certain branches of the Rosicrucian teachings. That is to say, they instruct the student that if he will hold in his mind the mental image of a certain color, there will result a reaction in the direction of the production in the student's mind or emotional nature of the feeling or emotion corresponding to that particular color. For instance, if the student will hold his thought and attention firmly concentrated on the red group of colors, there will be awakened in him a strong, passional emotion and the manifestation of animal vitality and vigor and virility. courage, and etc. Again, if he will hold in his mind in the same way the blue group of colors, he will experience an uplift of spiritual or religious emotional feeling, and his nature will be quickened along those lines. Again, if he would stimulate his intellectual faculties or reinvigorate a tired mind, he has but to concentrate on the yellow group of colors to obtain the desired results. So it is seen not only do mental and emotional states manifest appropriate colors, but the colors themselves tend to produce their corresponding mental and emotional states. The action of red upon the bull and other animals is explained in this way. Also, we have here a suggestion as to why man sees red under moments of great excitement leading to physical action of punishment. It is also a part of the teachings of the three primary colors that the three primary colors have a decided therapeutic effect, and that one may apply the principle in healing work. The colors may be applied either by means of physical colors placed in the environment of the person, or else held in the mind of the mental healer giving the treatment. Here's the therapeutic scale of colors, and I will get to that in the next video. The therapeutic scale of colors.